so glad to be in Kenya because, you know, I live in England and they know nothing about Africa. The only thing they know about Malawi is Madonna stole a baby. You know, I miss my little brother. And I love being here. I love being here. I'm at that age where all my friends are getting married. And married people forget how horrible it is being single. They do. They love to call their single friends and complain about their coupley problems. I always get, you are so lucky being single. I get home, my wife just starts nagging, nag, nag, nag. I'm like, hey, I have to nag myself. I get home, I'm like, why do I come home so late? Why don't I ever do the dishes? Sometimes I think I don't appreciate myself. Should I? No, I've got a headache. Well, I was telling you that I'm single, but I wasn't always. I was with a beautiful woman called Nicole. We're together 5 years, but we always used to argue. She felt I wasn't ambitious enough. She always be, you're a comedian, huh? Why aren't you more ambitious? Why don't you have your own TV show like Churchill? Why? Be more ambitious. I said, come on, I try my best. I love my life, I'm happy. She said, no, you're not happy. I said, I think I'm happy. She said, no, you need to be more ambitious. I did not sign up for somebody who's going nowhere. I snapped. I told her, look, you knew I wasn't ambitious the day we met. Of all the women in the bar, I approached you. Yeah, you're laughing, but that's why I'm single. So much. So my name is Daliso Chaponda. As he said, I am from Malawi. Yes, from Malawi. And I've been living in the UK now 7 years, and I still do not fit in. And England is legitimately a nation of complainers. Everybody hates their jobs. They hate their weather. Biggest complaint is financial crisis. Financial crisis. I'm from Africa. What are you talking about? How dare you overprivileged call that a crisis? Where's UNICEF? Where is Bono? You can tell me it's a financial crisis when there are planes flying over London, tossing fish and chips out the window. And I'm at that age now where all my friends are getting married, which is great. The only problem is married people forget how horrible and lonely it is being single. They have the nerve to call their single friends and dream of being single. It's so insensitive. I get calls saying, you're so lucky being single. I get home, my wife just starts nagging me, nag, nag, nag. I'm like, hey, I have to nag myself. I get home, I'm like, what time do I call this? Why don't I ever do the dishes? Sometimes I think I don't appreciate myself. Should I? No, I've got a headache. Now, what I like about the UK is I can do jokes like that. I can do slightly suggestive jokes. I can talk about any subject. I can talk about politics. No problem. I do shows in Africa. It's not the same rules. I got in serious trouble in Malawi, my home country, for a joke. I thought I was safe to talk about the government because at the time, my dad was in the government. He was Minister of Education. I did a joke which wasn't a lie. It was totally true. I wasn't surprised he became Minister of Education because when I was growing up, he was obsessed with education. No matter what grades I got, they weren't good enough. If I got 5 A's, 2 B's, you'd say, no, you're not reaching your potential. Apply yourself. If I got 7 A's, 1 B, no! You're not reaching your potential. Apply yourself. And I understand, he just wants me to be like him, he wants to be proud of me. And, I'm proud of him. So I call him and talk about Malawi a lot. Once I called him, I said, Dad, we've got food shortages all over Malawi. Teachers are on strike. I don't think you're reaching your potential. Maybe you should apply yourself. When I was a teenager, I started acting up. In the UK, what your parents would probably do is call a psychiatrist, something like that. My dad called an exorcist. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been exorcised. I don't recommend it. They strap you to a bed with ropes. They start pouring holy water in your mouth. I was coughing and sputtering. My dad didn't think this was enough. He believed you spared the rod. You spoiled the child. There was a big wooden cross. He grabbed it, passed it to the priest and said, "Beat him! Beat the devil out of him!" The priest began to whack me. I'm like, so understandably, when the priest said, "Satan!" I figured I better play along. I'd watched The Exorcist, so I tried to turn my head around and yes, I am Satan. He said, "Satan, leave this boy." I said, "I'm leaving." Then I got a great idea. I pointed at my dad and said, "I'm going into him."